The film begins by showing an ancient message explaining that, during the gold rush, the government attempted to expel the Native American tribes from Yosemite. After soldiers killed the chief's son, his father Tenaya cast a curse, stating that he would remain present in the rocks, rivers, and winds, and that his people would return for revenge. Next, we meet a group composed of Kyle, Reese, and the girls, Amy, Bridget, and Donna. Almost everyone is excited about the camping trip, except Reese. He starts complaining about the lack of internet and comments that bad things happen when there is no signal. Kyle reminds him that people used to have fun like that in the past, telling him to enjoy the trip. Before setting up camp, they head to the ranger station because they need to verify their permits. At the station, Kyle entertains himself by watching the same message from the beginning, now being broadcast on TV. While the others have fun, Donna and Amy approach the counter. Donna calls out for someone in charge when she notices blood dripping from a refrigerator. Frightened, the two talk about it when Ranger Susanna appears. Donna explains that they came because of the permits, and Susanna asks to check them. While doing so, Amy comments that the guide had said there are some old mines in the region. Susanna confirms it is true, but when Amy asks to see them, the ranger explains that the mines are closed that season, and that without a guide they are deadly. To convince them, she says that every year, children and various types of people discover that in the worst possible way. The ranger hands back the permits, asking them to stay away from the mines if they want to remain alive. She then begins observing Donna in a disturbing manner, making the young woman uncomfortable. Susanna says that she reminds her of her daughter, and Donna feels sympathetic about the situation. However, the woman reveals that her daughter is dead, completely changing the mood. Bridget notices the tension and tells her friends it is time to go. Before they leave, Susanna says she could make an exception and take them on a tour of the mines, but frightened, they refuse. Back on the road, Donna and Bridget decide to change the camping location because of the ranger. During the night, they camp at the new spot and begin telling horror stories. Donna arrives shortly afterward and announces that she will visit Vista Point, while Amy offers to accompany her. Donna quickly refuses and asks them not to worry, as she has a flashlight and a radio. After she leaves, Amy comments about the place's stories, saying that the army committed a massacre in the region to clear the land during the gold rush. However, the natives allegedly revolted and cast a powerful curse, causing even other tribes to avoid entering that location. Kyle begins to panic over those stories and says he wants to leave. However, Amy says she waited all year to be with him, convincing him to stay. Meanwhile, Donna continues through the forest when she begins to hear strange noises. A ghostly shadow starts watching her and suddenly lets out a loud roar, making her run. On the way, Donna trips over something and starts rolling downhill, falling into a hole. In the morning, Amy and Kyle wake up and prepare to explore the area. Amy calls for Donna, but upon checking the tent realizes she has disappeared and there are no signs that anyone slept there. Worried, she tells Bridget, who believes Donna simply went to explore the forest. The couple goes into the forest looking for Donna, and Amy is concerned and feels that something is wrong with her. Kyle tries to stay calm and says they can ask the ranger for help if necessary. Bridget contacts them by radio asking about Donna. Kyle replies that they have not found her yet and that they are heading to Vista Point. Bridget agrees and tells them to proceed, saying she will be right behind. Meanwhile, Kyle insists that they should call the ranger station. Suddenly, a landslide occurs and Kyle is dragged, but he manages to hold on in time. Looking more closely, he notices a large ravine below and tells Amy not to come closer. In desperation, Amy informs the others about Kyle's situation and gives their location. Later, the couple arrives at the site and helps Kyle out of the ravine. Then they hear grunts coming from the bottom of the ravine and, believing it to be Donna, Reese starts calling her name. He decides to climb down, despite the group's opposition, who insist on asking the ranger for help. Reese states that Donna is his friend and he will not abandon her. He climbs down using wooden planks for support, but drops his flashlight. The light briefly reveals the cave, and he finds Donna trapped and in panic, asking for help with her leg. Reese asks Kyle for help, while Amy warns that it is dangerous to go down. Even so, he insists that he needs to save her. While waiting, Reese tries to calm Donna. Kyle realizes they will not be able to remove Donna alone and suggests calling for help. Amy volunteers to seek the forest rangers. Before leaving, she asks Bridget not to go down into the ravine and departs alone. After Amy leaves, Reese continues searching for something to free Donna and finds the entrance to a passage in the mine. He clears a path through the obstacles and ends up discovering something that catches his attention. He says the others need to see it, and Bridget climbs down despite the warnings of caution. She runs to hug Donna but finds her sudden smile strange. At that moment, Reese calls everyone to see what he found and reveals gold in the mine. The group celebrates the discovery, but Bridget reminds them that Amy left to seek help. In desperation, Reese states that if the forest rangers find the place, they will not let them keep the gold. Then Kyle and Reese run out of the mine in search of Amy. Kyle realizes he cannot get a signal on the radio and says they need to climb a little higher to establish communication. He decides to go after Amy and hands the radio to Reese before separating from him. After they leave, Bridget notices Donna's desperation regarding the gold. Meanwhile, Amy runs through the forest in search of help when she notices crows chasing her. Frightened, she collides with a branch and faints for a few seconds. Upon waking, she senses a hostile environment and tries to orient herself with the compass, but realizes it is malfunctioning. Then she notices a strange movement in the sky and finds herself surrounded by crows and a strong wind. Amy screams at the situation and manages to escape. Up to that point, it is unclear whether what happened was real or merely a product of her imagination. Meanwhile, in the ravine, Bridget tries to contact Amy, but only hears static. She asks if Donna really does not want help, but the girl replies that gold can help them. Bridget says she does not need money and asks why Donna is so desperate. Donna reveals that she went bankrupt and had to move back in with Bridget and their mother. At that moment, we discover that the two are sisters. Bridget then understands the situation and realizes that Donna is pregnant. Donna does not deny it, and despite the surprise, Bridget is happy about the news. She worries about the baby, but Donna claims she is not feeling anything. She then reveals that her boyfriend abandoned her because of the pregnancy. Bridget laments the situation but assures her that she and their mother will help raise the child. Donna then hands her cell phone to Bridget to take some photos. While doing so, Bridget notices something strange on the ground and finds a backpack. The two begin examining it and discover an old diary inside. At the same time, Reese, now exhausted, continues climbing the mountain. He pauses to try contacting Amy, but again only hears static, making him shout her name angrily. Meanwhile, Amy finally manages to reach the vehicle, but just as she is about to leave, Kyle appears. Later, the group begins illegally exploring the mine. While Reese searches for gold, the girls gather the material found. Kyle moves the tents closer to the ravine to avoid curious onlookers. He then comments that they can use the car jack as leverage to remove the rock from Donna's leg, but she prefers to wait for the swelling to decrease. While analyzing the photos taken by her sister, Donna notices something buried. Meanwhile, Susanna approaches the area to warn the youths about the region's dangers. During the night, the group prepares to remove Donna, but she remains insecure. Reese tries to lift the rock with Kyle's help, but the lever breaks and it falls back, crushing Donna's leg again. Meanwhile, Susanna arrives in the region and speaks by radio with her colleague Drake. He warns that a storm is approaching over the weekend and that he will close the park. Susanna says she needs to find the youths to warn them. In the ravine, Donna ignores the pain and asks them to continue. Amy disagrees and insists on calling a forest ranger, leaving Reese furious. Later, while Kyle gathers firewood, Reese appears and tells him to control Amy, stating that they all need that money. He also reveals that he was not accepted into the fire department and says his financial life is ruined. Reese insists that the gold can change their lives, but he needs to control Amy. Later, Donna is alone separating the gold when she feels she is being watched. Looking toward a corner, she sees a strange man slowly walking toward her. Donna screams in desperation as bats scatter through the place. Moments later, her friends arrive, frightened by the situation. Bridget and Amy ask what happened, but Donna says perhaps it was all her imagination. Amy insists on calling a forest ranger, but Donna claims she is fine. At that moment, Bridget notices that the diary got wet and finds a name written in it. She jokes that it says massacre, making them all laugh while commenting on what they will do with the money. Later, Kyle switches shifts with Reese, who begins mining obsessively. During the work, an old hammer falls onto his head. Upon picking it up, Reese notices something shining on the ground, the same object seen by Donna in the photos. He discovers it is a human jaw with a gold tooth. Frightened, Reese throws it to the ground but soon is overcome by greed and pulls out the tooth before returning to work. Meanwhile, the sisters talk when Donna feels pain in her leg. Upon checking the wound, they realize the area is swollen and darkening. Amy appears and again insists on seeking help, also commenting on Donna's nausea. Bridget then reveals that her sister is pregnant, leaving Amy even more worried. Amy asks if Donna is not thinking about the baby, but she responds that she needs the money. Amy offers her share of the gold and says the child needs a living mother. Bridget agrees and says Donna already has enough gold, stating they can come back later. Donna finally accepts, but explains that first they need to clean the place to leave no evidence. Later, Bridget tells Reese that Donna's foot worsened and that everyone agreed to leave in the morning. Reese rebels, saying that the gold seam is becoming more visible and that they cannot give up now. Bridget counters that it is not a debate and reaffirms that they need to leave. Kyle tries to support him, but she tells him to be quiet. Then Bridget calls Amy to go to the river, but Reese decides to keep working and even calls Amy useless, irritating Bridget, who calls him an asshole before leaving the mine. Reese goes after her to apologize. Meanwhile, Amy talks with Donna about the diary found. She does not understand why the old miners abandoned all the tools and gold and finds it strange that the diary mentions constant rain at the mining site. Donna believes the miners were ambushed and says that one of them stabbed a native. According to the story, the miners hired natives as guides, but Donna believes they were exploited as slaves. Therefore, she thinks the natives revolted and attacked the settlers. Meanwhile, Bridget forgives Reese and the two have fun in the river. Later, a storm begins approaching the mountain. Meanwhile, Amy remains awake and decides to continue working but feels she is being watched. Soon, she sees a ghostly presence pass by her and go through the wall. Kyle appears behind her, and Amy, frightened, says that there was a man there. However, when she says he passed through the wall, Kyle believes she is imagining things. Terrified, Amy insists she saw something like a miner and decides to look for Reese to explain the situation, believing he will understand. Kyle decides to accompany her, leaving Donna alone sleeping in the ravine. On the way, Amy remembers that Susanna had said those lands were sacred. Kyle insists she is imagining things, but they soon notice someone ahead. Meanwhile, in the ravine, the candles begin to go out while Donna sleeps. The couple panics for a moment, but soon discovers it is Susanna. She finds the two in a strange state and also notices the tents set up near the ravine, warning that it is not safe. Then she reveals that she is looking for Donna, since the permits are in her name and need to be updated. Susanna also warns about the storm and explains that the park will be closed, so she needs to know where everyone is. When she tries to go to the tents, Amy says Donna is sleeping and that they will resolve everything in the morning. Suspicious, Susanna does not believe the story. Amy then explains that Donna was abandoned by her boyfriend and is going through a difficult time. Susanna understands the situation and says that if the rain does not arrive, they can stay until dawn. As she says goodbye, Reese and Bridget return, and she finds it strange that they are not sleeping. At that moment, Susanna reveals that she had a dream in which Donna was injured. The group finds the story absurd, but in the ravine, the mysterious man reappears and extinguishes the last candle. Susanna senses something wrong and concludes that Donna is not sleeping. Moments later, the young woman wakes up screaming. Desperate, Susanna runs to help her, while the others try to stop her. However, the forest ranger advances and ends up falling into the ravine, hitting her head and becoming unconscious. The group climbs down to check her condition and panics, believing she is dead. Reese asks Amy for help, but still shaken, she refuses to go down. Kyle suggests calling the police, but Donna fears no one will believe it was an accident and that they will all end up imprisoned. While they argue about what to do, Susanna begins to show signs of life. At that moment, Reese realizes that a bag of gold is missing and pressures Kyle to know what happened. Kyle denies touching it and explains that he was helping Amy because she said she had seen a miner. The revelation frightens Donna, but Reese does not believe the story. Bridget intervenes and tells the two to stop arguing. Shortly afterward, Donna asks about Susanna, and they all realize she is escaping. Reese tries to go after her, but the ladder breaks and the forest ranger manages to get out of the ravine. Outside, she finds Amy and panics upon seeing her gun in her hands. Susanna states that gold belongs to cursed land and runs into the forest. Amy decides to follow Susanna into the forest and asks her to appear, saying she does not want to hurt her. Hidden behind a tree, Susanna reacts. The two struggle over the gun as the others approach. Another shot is fired, and Kyle realizes that neither of them is moving. As he approaches, he finds Amy fallen beside Susanna and collapses in tears. Reese picks up the gun and asks if Amy had the gold. Indignant, Kyle says he will look for the police and tell everything. Bridget tries to stop him, stating that now they are all suspects. Reese becomes furious, points the gun at Kyle, and orders him to search the bodies. When Kyle refuses, Reese shoots and states that he will not go to jail because of Amy. Kyle states that Amy did not have the gold. Furious, Reese orders them to carry Susanna's body to the mine and tells Bridget to search for the missing gold. Before leaving, Kyle says that if Amy is still alive, she should look for the police. Bridget also tries to revive her, but without success. As they return to the ravine, the storm intensifies, but no one pays attention. After throwing the body into the mine, Kyle begs them to call the police. Donna disagrees and states that they will not risk prison because of Susanna. Kyle insists that Reese is obsessed with the gold and that they will all be dead by dawn. Trying to calm things down, Donna suggests using the car to remove her from there and then burying the ravine, eliminating all evidence. Reese likes the idea and remembers there is a tow cable in the trunk that can help them. However, he refuses to leave Kyle alone. When Donna asks for the gun, Reese looks at her suspiciously and decides to call Bridget. Amy survives but is shaken by Susanna's death and refuses to return to the ravine. Even so, Bridget manages to convince her to help Kyle. Later, the two go down to the ravine and Bridget begs Reese to let Kyle leave. He refuses, claiming that Kyle will tell everything to the police. Reese again asks about the missing gold, but Bridget says she found nothing because of the rain. Then he reveals Donna's plan to hide the evidence. Amy then offers to get the car. Reese agrees but threatens her if she tells anyone anything. Before leaving, Amy promises to help Donna and reveals a frightening discovery. According to the diary, the old miners drowned in that same ravine. Upon realizing that the water is rising rapidly, Donna begins to despair. Meanwhile, Reese seems increasingly obsessed with the place. Rereading the diary, Donna confirms Amy's story and panics. At the same time, Drake tries to contact Susanna and shows concern about her disappearance. Desperate, Donna tells the story of the place and says that the reason there is so much gold is that the miners never left. She begs Reese to help her get out and says that they are inside a tomb. Kyle finds the jaw that Reese had thrown away and panics. He pushes Reese away and grabs his radio, sending a distress call. Reese assaults him and during the fight loses the gun in the water. Then Kyle tries to call for help on the radio, but Reese attacks him with a pickaxe and kills him. Bridget watches everything terrified while Reese forces her to carry the gold bags. She returns to help Donna, who desperately asks for help. Reese stops her and tells Bridget to continue collecting the gold. Bridget begs, saying that Donna is pregnant, but he claims not to care. Donna then reveals that the baby is his, leaving Bridget in shock. Reese, completely out of control, begins drowning Donna. Bridget is forced by Reese to remove the gold under threat against Donna, while he continues digging obsessively. She begins hearing the voice of Chief Tenaya and spirits around her and becomes terrified. In the ravine, Reese causes a collapse but saves himself and refuses to help Donna, who begins to drown. In the chaos, the backpack with the gold falls into the gorge. Donna manages to free herself using a pickaxe and then uses it to attack and kill Reese. Meanwhile, Amy runs through the forest and follows a mysterious light, finding Drake, breaking down in tears and being calmed by him. He says he needs to find his partner Susanna and asks Amy to take him to her. In shock, Amy agrees, and Drake asks her to accompany him. Meanwhile, Bridget tries to rescue her sister, but Donna sees a bag of gold and becomes obsessed. Even after being warned that the gold is cursed, she insists on taking it, saying that the natives gave a chance of survival. Bridget realizes it is already too late while voices whisper around them. The ravine collapses and Donna is buried. Amy returns and asks about the group, and Bridget, in tears, reveals that they all died. The film ends by returning to Chief Tenaya's initial message.